First thing we want to do, get our actuator motor installed. Make sure this is attached before you install it. Really only one way it can fit in there. Notches and stuff cut out, so you really can't install it incorrectly. Let that sit in there. We're going to be using our red Loctite for all the hardware on this unit. Does not take very much. I'm all started by hand. Too much there. Let's snare it off. Okay. AC-20 Torx, the size for those screws. Go ahead and get them most of the way tight. Don't torque them down all the way until you get them all slightly snug. I'm sure there are actual torque specs for this thing, but I was not able to find any. Give it good and tight. This does actually have a torque limiter in it. Alright, that piece is installed. Next we'll install our sleeve. This orientation down on the right there. We'll install our spring. It's important that the orientation, this loop tab has to rest up against here, right there, like so. Now we're going to take our main shaft here, wiggle it down in here, bit of a tight fit. And the next part's a little tricky. Have to get this started in this slot right here and on here at the correct height. Otherwise you won't be able to do this later. And make sure this is lined up in there. Seated. Now we have to, this spring tab right here behind this. Just kind of take a kick here, just like that. See, it's now behind right there. Okay, now everything's lined up. We want to rotate this slightly. Looks like we're out of alignment actually. So another part of this is starting the gears here before you press it down all the way. There we go. Now we're in alignment. So this is going to drop in. We have to make sure it is clocked past this point here, so it clears it. Now this shaft is slightly press fit into this roller bearing. It's not a very tight press fit, but it is a press fit. You can do it with a hammer and a brass punch, generally. We'll go ahead and get it started. Okay, that's started. We still have clearance. Now we're going to have to hold this outward. Like so, while we tap this down. Another part of this too is we're going to have to time this. We don't have to time it, we have to make sure these are aligned when it goes in so you don't chew the plastic teeth up. Not done yet, but I want to show you what's going on here. That's how it should look, everything in time. Our goal here is to get the shaft in there flush with the top of that bearing. Like so. Like this, just right. We'll function check, make sure it's all still good. Everything's working. When I initially took this apart, I made some timing marks there, but it actually doesn't really matter because this is going to return to the 0 position anytime it's off or closed. Okay, now, one key thing when you're taking this apart, after you take off all of your clips, these two contacts sit in here for the motor. So when you have this loose, you don't want to be prying all over the place because you'll bend or break the contacts in here. So you kind of want to pry evenly, side to side, kind of straight out like that. This kind of motion directly upward rather than prying all over the place and potentially breaking those. Now we're going to install our throttle plate. The big thing we're after here are these contact points going to the motor there. You can kind of feel them start to seat. Once that happens, a nice push, squeeze together. I'm going to start with the end ones here, with the clips. Just put them on like that. These will get harder as you go on. Yep, that one's already more difficult. Get a little more leverage out of it. There we go. Once you get those two started, it should be fairly easy. Okay. And that is mostly reassembled. The only thing I'm not going to show you in this video is pretty self-explanatory. There's a 5/8 diameter metal expansion plug. It's like a freeze plug. It's tapped into here. I have the old one, but got destroyed removing it. I removed it by just tapping 90-degree punch into it, kind of tilting in there and working it back and forth with some leverage until it came out. It seemed to do the trick. You want to be careful not to damage this area for the inner walls, otherwise it's not going to seal on you. But yeah, that is completely reassembled. Couple of notes for final assembly. I had some trouble getting the throttle plate aligned, and the main issue was this shaft, which is pressed into this bearing we talked about earlier. Was not set perfect. It was really close, but it actually needed just another tap at the brass drift to get it over where it needed to be. What was happening was it was causing this throttle plate not to seat in here correctly between the throttle body walls. It was not perfectly aligned, so I couldn't get free motion. It was dragging a little bit in a couple of spots. And in addition, once I got this on, it was a little bit too tall. You know, like I said, I had to tap it down one more, so I took this back off and wound up doing that. It was also causing some resistance on the gear in here to the sensors in the top cover. Not a lot, it wasn't bad, but it was just a little bit of resistance. So once I got that set exactly where it needed to be, that took care of all of our adjustment issues, and now everything is working as it should. The only thing we have left to do is get our expansion plug and put in here, which I will be doing tomorrow. That part's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, this is all done. I hope the video was helpful. Drop us a like and a follow if it was. Thanks, guys.